All right, how's it going? It's another episode of Today in Art. Today is February 12th, 2020, and we're going to get into this episode here. It says an art critic accidentally shattered a $19,000 glass sculpture at the Zona Maco fair with a Wayward can of Coke. This happened down in Mexico. It says Gabrielle Rico's sculpture exploded when art critic Avelina Lesper attempted to place a can of soda on it. So they were kind of saying that they're trying to go back and forth between whether it was like intentional or not. Because this is what, if you're watching on YouTube, this is what it looks like now. It looks like just a pile of glass. There's like a tennis ball there, and there's like a soccer ball over there. There's like a feather there. And before it happened, this is what it looked like. It looks like some sticks and some glass just kind of propped up. And apparently it was to sell, or it's priced at $19,000. And well, we'll get into some other stuff here. They say the pen is mightier than the sword, but what about the Coke can? A Mexican art critic destroyed a sculpture by one of the country's up-and-coming artists at its most prominent art fair on Saturday. The large glass work by Gabrielle Rico was the centerpiece of Mexico City-based Galleria OMR's stand at the Zona Maco. At least it was until the art critic Avelina Lesper's klutzy intervention, and this is if you want to see what she looks like here. Exactly how the sculpture, which featured a soccer ball, a tennis ball, a stone, and other found objects seemingly suspended in a single sheet of glass, ended up in a pile of objects on the floor surrounded by debris, and glass shards remain in dispute. The critic was conducting a guided tour of the fair when ArtNet News understands she placed a Coke can on one of the stone elements in order to take a picture as a critique of the work. Yeah, if you're going into, I mean, they pretty much say it, like, don't touch the art, especially if it's a glass. I mean, if you, because they don't really get into it here, but they're trying to say that she was at fault, and then she's trying to say that she wasn't. So I'm kind of curious about whether, it seems like it's a bigger thing, so I'm assuming they have insurance, but I'm wondering if the gallery has insurance to cover that, because somebody's going to have to pay for it. Whether the gallery is insured and they're going to cover it, or if they're going to try to come after and sue the art critic Avelina. I don't know. It doesn't really say. So, where was that here? We are very sad and disappointed by what happened today, OMR said in a statement on Instagram, accompanied by an image of the aftermath. We don't understand how an alleged professional art critic destroyed a work. The gallery blamed Lesper for getting too close to the sculpture, adding that she showed a huge lack of professionalism and respect for the artist, whose work was included in the central exhibition of the 2019 Venice Biennale, or biennial. It's late right now. And it's showing another image here of it just kind of just shattered glass and random objects and a whole group of people. It's almost like it's performance art now. The 2018 work, titled Nimble and Sinister Tricks to be Preserved Without Scandal and Corruption, was priced at $19,000 USD. It is unclear whether Rico will recreate the work or who will pay for it. I am sad because this was very disrespectful for the pieces, the artist said in a statement. This is a regrettable situation. I've personally had a piece kind of get destroyed in a gallery because they were holding it in storage. This was years, this is probably like a decade ago. Like, there needs to be, and that's the issue with like smaller galleries too, whether they're like, they have stuff. If it's a bigger, if it's a bigger thing, I'm sure they do. But smaller places, or pop-up shows and stuff may not necessarily have insurance. If something gets damaged, somebody's gonna have to pay for it. So try to cover your butt as well as you can if you're an artist, and ask whether they have if you're showing whether they have insurance, and if not, if you're able to somehow get insurance, because there's no telling what people will do. Like somebody can be like try to take a picture and like fall back on something and break it. You know how clumsy people are. Anyway, the art critic risked rubbing salt in the gallery's wounded feelings when, in a conversation with the dealer following the accident, she reportedly suggested they sell the broken work, comparing its destruction to the fate of Marcel Duchamp's large glass. When the French artist's famous glass sculpture was accidentally damaged in transit, he responded that it was now complete. Let's actually see if we can take a little... Yeah, if you don't know about that, he kind of had like a glass sculpture, and with things in there that, like, when it was getting shipped, they were like moving it stuff, and it had the moving guys dropped it, and like there's like shatter pieces. There was like, and then he's like, oh, now it is complete, because that's how Marcel Duchamp was, because he had the urinal that he flipped upside down and called art. Fountain. The affair soon began trending on social media, with some people blaming the work, not the critic, for its downfall, saying the glass was too weak and Lesper was right to make a point. And they have some Instagram things here if you want to look at it too, but it's in, I'm assuming, Spanish, which I can't read. So if you want to go to the Zona, Maco, Mexico, Arte Contemporáneo, if you're watching on YouTube, you can see what it is, or go to I'll have the article links in the description. And there's another one somebody made like a meme, I guess. The Guadalajara-based artist Gabrielle Rico, who was born in 1980, often uses found objects in his carefully arranged installations, which combine reference to surrealism, arte povera. I'm not entirely sure what arte povera is. Let's take a little. Is a contemporary art movement. Took place between the end of the 1960s and beginning of the 1970s in major cities throughout Italy, and above all in Turin. Other cities where the movement was also important are Milan, Rome, Genoa, Venice, Naples, and Bologna. I've been to Naples. That's the off subject. I haven't heard of that before. Okay. And popular culture. Less fragile examples of his work can be admired and safely touched in Recover Uncover, a sculpture and design show organized by Masa, a peripatetic design gallery in Mexico City. The group show is on view in a distressed historic mansion alongside the art fair of Zona, Maco. A spokesman for the fair did not immediately respond to a comment. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say about. I mean, I've pretty much said what I want to. Just if you are an artist, just make sure your butt is covered. I think even around here in because Columbus, Ohio has like a big national art, like 3-day art fair tent, huge thing going on. And I remember hearing one time there was, I don't remember the individual who it was, but he had like glass sculptures. And this like is either like Thursday night or Friday night, something like that. These huge like gusts of wind came through and like knocked and destroyed all this stuff. But he had all this stuff insured like as a business, and I think like all his glass sculptures and stuff were destroyed. But since he had the insurance, like he ended up like pocketing like $13,000 to recover all that. So it's good to have insurance, which makes me think. I just submitted for an art fair show, art sale thing. Like I said, it's late right now. Maybe I ought to get insurance on that. But yeah, let me know what you think. I mean, looking at it, it's kind of hard to even see here. But it looks like the ball is suspended in the glass. But the tennis ball too. I mean, it's just like, It looks like it'd be very easily knocked over to begin with. So you gotta be careful about that stuff. But yeah, this has been Today in Art. Today is February 12th, 2020. If you're watching this on YouTube, I'm around 230-ish subscribers, like 229. I'm trying to get more subscribers on that. So if you like this, you can give me a like. Really liked it, you can subscribe. You didn't like it, you didn't like if you didn't like it, you can thumb it down. But I'm kind of curious what you think about the whole destruction of the piece and whether it should have even been able to. I mean, there's fragile things, so it's hard to say. But whose maybe is at fault and who should pay for it? But yeah, that's it for tonight. Today. Like I said, it's late. All right. Peace.